So I'm Ollie Suter, I'm a fourth year biologist, and I'm also the joint project coordinator of Roots Community Gardening. One of our main aims is not necessarily been to make people great gardeners, it's been to give people an opportunity for a few hours a week where they know they can be outdoors, interacting with people that they might not otherwise meet and kind of getting out of the student bubble, just having a break basically.
Gardening is also a really amazing activity because it creates this space where people can come and they can feel useful and they can get stuck in. And in doing so, you feel good about yourself, you're doing something for your local community, you're doing something to encourage wildlife. The project I'm most proud of was that we grew loads of pumpkins and squash, and we harvested them, and with that produce we created an incredible community meal where we made a big curry with all the produce, and we raised a lot of money for charity, and we invited people from the refugee and asylum seeker community in Bristol.
We did a garden makeover for a local resident who had kind of limited mobility. She was in a wheelchair, so her garden was very overgrown. And we turned up on the day with like 20 people. It was all a bit hectic. We weren't sure who was going to turn up. But we basically ended up, we did the back garden, we did the front garden. We had people in her kind of living room, like sorting out furniture. That was one of those projects where you feel like you're making a real difference.
We also do a lot of work with a project called Urban Buzz, and they are invested in creating over 100 buzzing hotspots across the city for urban pollinators. We help with all sorts of things like planting thousands of bulbs or sowing meadows with wildflower seed.
There's a need to kind of change our perception on what we see as kind of good and bad in gardens. I think we're used to this idea of, we see like grass seed packets and we've got this like perfect manicured lawn, these borders, these edges, everything's very neat, very tidy. But if you do have an area that you can allow to kind of grow wild, you can let the grass grow longer, you can let the shrubs grow longer, you don't prune stuff back, that can also be a really important habitat for not just pollinators, but amphibians, small mammals, birds, that sort of thing.
There are other things you can do. For example, building a bee house or an insect hotel, which you can do by hollowing out lots of bamboos or drilling holes in log, and these create nesting cavities so that solitary bees can build a nest for their egg inside.
But then obviously some people don't have green spaces and they don't have their own gardens, and it's not like they can't do anything. You know, there are community groups like us and other groups as well in Bristol and in other cities across the UK that can help people to get engaged with improving wildlife in their area. So being aware of those opportunities as well is really good.